starting to work on this. So I'm thinking a couple of things I'd like to do. So now the other thing you could do, you don't have to do this, but what sometimes people do is you could write out a couple of goals for her. This is what I want you to do. This is what I'd like you to do over the next session, over the next week. I can just say it to her. She's very responsible, so she would do it. That's the kind of person she is. So I would say something like, I'd say, bring in some pictures of your grandfather. Is there, cards or letters that he's given you that were especially meaningful? And we can start kind of just going through and talking about that, talking about your relationship with him and how that is. And also too, is there any person that you feel close to that that you could talk to about this?
My roommate Melanie, just because she's right there all the time, I think she makes her that.
So now, again, going backwards, have you talked with her about this?
Yeah.
Good. So then, what's it going to be like to talk with her?
It's just really not our dynamic. Usually it's her talking to me, and I feel like because I've been so tired and sleeping and stuff, I haven't been able to be there for her as much. So I'm worried that because I haven't really put in my part, she won't be receptive.
But now you've already mentioned to me several times though that Molly's constantly asking you what's wrong. She's always asking you, how are you doing, what's wrong, you don't seem like yourself. And the response that you always tell her is, I'm tired. Got a lot of things going on, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so what would be another way that you could broach the subject?
I guess I could change tired to sad.
Okay. Okay. All right. Maybe.
Yeah. I could probably, I don't know, actually have a conversation with her instead of turning around and going back to my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could. It might be a reasonable thing to do.
Maybe.
Maybe. So, but what you could do is the next time she says, boy, you seem really tired, you say, well, actually, I've been really sad lately, and that's why I've been feeling so down. What would it be like you said?
I just feel like I would overwhelm her. What would she say?
What happened? What are you sad about?
I mean, she knows my grandpa died.
Okay. So how does she know that your grandpa died?
I mean, I told her, I got the phone call while I was in my dorm, and she knew I had to leave for a while.
Okay. Did she ever follow up with that and ask you to query more about that?
She texted me and stuff while I was at home dealing with my family, but I was really busy and I just didn't really get around to talking to her about it.
Right. So now, the other thing that we could talk about potentially would be, has that changed the dynamic between the two of you in terms of your relationship? Because in essence, you've kind of been withholding.
Yeah.
You haven't really been as so that, is there any tension in the relationship currently with the roommate? Has she felt like that there's been a distance? Because maybe that would be another thing that you could, we could explore. So then, in essence, then what we're setting up and we're moving in the middle phase is that, okay, we've got some things that we're going to do for grief, and we'll talk about the strategies, like working on, kind of some of the issues about her and her grandfather, but also okay, that would be a great idea to talk to your roommate, because I wonder if she's been feeling kind of distant and cut off from you because you've been keeping all this in, and I'm wondering if that's been a lot of the things that have been going on for you lately, is that nobody's been able to really reach you because you've been unreachable, because you're not engaging with anybody or telling anybody, and everybody's assuming these things about you, and I kind of wonder if some of your friendships maybe haven't been able to be as connected in, not only just because they don't know what's going on with you. So I would just wonder if it would be worthwhile to, again, start with your roommate and let her know that you've really had a hard time, and you have had a hard time getting over your grandfather's death. Yeah. So those would be a couple of things I really want you to think about this week. Is start to get some things together, and let's talk about your grandfather. So I really think it's really important to have you start thinking about that. And what's that? I guess, not to jump over things, but as I'm talking about that, what's it like for you to think about? Again, this is cognitive. What's it like to think about getting into the emotion of your grandfather's death?
It's just, I don't know, it feels paralyzing.
So what have you done to prevent yourself from feeling feelings?
I sleep all the time. I haven't really been eating a lot. Just kind of like, it feels like I'm just constantly in a haze and I
Right.
don't really have to like think about anything
Right,
deep.
and that's super normal, and that's what a lot of people do when they're really depressed and deal with, and that's one way that a lot of people deal with the feelings is they just block it out, and, you know, for a lot of people, sleeping is the way to do it. It's just a way to like numb out and disconnect from the things that feel potentially painful. So one of the things I'm gonna encourage you to do is to kind of hang in there a little bit more with the feelings, and perhaps as we begin to talk about it, I'll be asking you more about how you feel, and as we do that, you may find yourself feeling a lot more feelings, or you may start having more breakthrough feelings that come up. And I would encourage you not to, don't try to push those away, but try to hang in there with that, because we'll start doing that a little bit. So again, one of the things we'll be doing again over the next couple of weeks is I want to get you finding people that you can talk to, and we're also going to start working on helping you start to grieve a little bit in terms of this death. Okay, sounds like it's going to be a little overwhelming, but I think it's going to be okay. Because again, once we do that, you're going to be feeling a lot better, and you're not going to be feeling suppressed. You're not going to feel like you want to sleep your life away, and you'll be more connected with others, and that's the goal. Okay, all right. So then that's how we do.